The small town of Pinnerville was nestled deep within the dense forests of New Jersey. Its picturesque charm and serene atmosphere had always attracted nature enthusiasts and those seeking an escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. However, a sinister shadow lurked beneath the idyllic facade, and the townspeople were about to discover the horrifying truth. It began on a moonless night when a young couple, Sarah and Mark, decided to go camping in the heart of the forest. Their love for adventure led them to a secluded spot, far away from prying eyes. Little did they know that their decision would unleash a nightmare beyond their wildest imagination. As the crackling campfire provided a dim source of light, the couple shared stories and laughter, oblivious to the unseen danger closing in on them. Suddenly, an eerie silence enveloped the surroundings, as if nature itself held its breath. The couple exchanged puzzled glances, their hearts pounding in anticipation of the unknown. Out of the darkness emerged a bone-chilling howl, a sound that sent shivers down their spines. It was unlike anything they had ever heard before, a haunting blend of anguish and fury. Their once romantic getaway transformed into a terrifying ordeal. Frantic and fearful, Sarah and Mark scrambled to douse the fire, hoping to conceal their presence from whatever lurked in the shadows. But it was too late. The creature, known as the Jersey Devil, materialized before them, its grotesque form sending waves of terror through their bodies. The creature stood tall, towering over the couple with leathery wings spread wide. Its eyes glowed with a malevolent crimson hue, its gnarled horns spiraling towards the heavens. The stench of decay and sulfur filled the air, choking their senses. Paralyzed with fear, Sarah and Mark watched as the Jersey Devil unleashed a blood-curdling screech, echoing through the night. Its razor-sharp claws and jagged teeth glistened in the moonlight, promising a gruesome fate for those who crossed its path. In an act of desperation, the couple mustered the last remnants of their courage and made a run for it. Their pounding footsteps echoed through the forest as they desperately tried to outpace the monstrous entity chasing them. Branches whipped their faces, and the uneven terrain threatened to trip them at every step. But the primal instinct for survival propelled them forward. Just when it seemed that all hope was lost, they stumbled upon a dilapidated cabin hidden amidst the trees. Without hesitation, they burst through the creaking door, seeking refuge from their pursuer. Inside, they found old newspaper clippings and faded photographs, revealing a history of terror that plagued Pinnerville for centuries. As the night wore on, Sarah and Mark huddled together, their minds consumed by fear and questions. What was the origin of the Jersey Devil? Why did it haunt the town of Pinnerville? And most importantly, would they ever escape its clutches? Little did they know that their encounter was only the beginning. The Jersey Devil's reign of terror was far from over, and the secrets hidden within the town of Pinnerville were darker than they could have ever imagined. As dawn broke, casting a feeble light through the cabin's dusty windows, Sarah and Mark vowed to uncover the truth behind the Jersey Devil. They would delve into the town's history, facing their deepest fears and challenging the malevolent entity that threatened to consume them all. Thus, their journey into the heart of darkness began, a journey that would test their sanity, unravel the secrets of the Jersey Devil, and ultimately decide the fate of Pinnerville itself. The morning sun struggled to penetrate the dense canopy of trees, casting an eerie glow upon the forest floor. Sarah and Mark, still reeling from their harrowing encounter with the Jersey Devil, ventured out of the cabin, their hearts heavy with trepidation. Determined to unravel the mysteries that shrouded Pinnerville, they followed the path that led deeper into the haunting woods. As they ventured further, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. The air turned stagnant, carrying a putrid odor that made their stomachs churn. The once lush foliage now appeared twisted and grotesque, as if nature itself recoiled from the presence of the malevolent entity that lurked nearby. Crackling branches and rustling leaves echoed through the silence, creating a disconcerting symphony of dread. Every step seemed to resonate with the weight of impending doom. Unbeknownst to Sarah and Mark, they were walking into a labyrinth of horror, where each turn held the promise of a ghastly revelation. Suddenly, a chilling breeze swept through the trees, sending a shiver down their spines. They paused, their eyes scanning the surroundings for any sign of danger. It was then they noticed a trail of deep, claw-like marks etched into the bark of the trees, as if something monstrous had scraped its way through the forest. Their hearts pounded in their chests as they followed the ominous trail, their breaths held in anticipation of what they might discover. The deeper they ventured, the more pronounced the claw marks became, as if mocking their futile attempts to escape the clutches of terror. As they pushed through a thicket of thorns, Sarah's foot snagged on an object buried within the undergrowth. Stooping down, she unearthed a tattered piece of fabric stained with fresh blood. The sight sent waves of nausea coursing through their bodies. It was a grim reminder of the horrors that awaited them. Determined to press forward, they soon stumbled upon a small clearing bathed in an unnatural pallor. In the center stood a decaying tree, its gnarled branches contorted like twisted fingers reaching out for their souls. Hanging from the branches were a series of shredded garments, swaying ominously in the breeze. A wave of dread washed over them as they realized the chilling truth. The shredded garments belonged to the victims of the Jersey Devil, those unfortunate souls who had crossed its path and met a gruesome fate. The realization that they were merely another step closer to the clutches of death filled them with a paralyzing terror. Suddenly, a deafening silence engulfed the clearing. The forest seemed to hold its breath, waiting with bated anticipation. The air grew thick with an oppressive presence, as if an unseen entity watched their every move. Sarah and Mark exchanged fearful glances, their instincts screaming at them to flee, to abandon this hellish place. But it was too late. The ground beneath them trembled as the Jersey Devil materialized from the shadows, its glowing red eyes fixated upon them. The creature's wings unfurled with a bone-chilling rustle, casting a grotesque silhouette upon the barren ground. With lightning speed, the Jersey Devil lunged at them, its claws slashing through the air with deadly precision. Sarah and Mark scrambled to evade the creature's ferocious onslaught, their hearts pounding in their chests. Each fleeting moment felt like an eternity as they fought for their lives, desperately clinging to the hope of survival. Just as all seemed lost, a blinding flash of light erupted from the underbrush. The Jersey Devil screeched in agony as a mysterious figure emerged, a seasoned hunter wielding a silver-bladed weapon, crafted specifically to combat the unholy creature. In a fierce battle that defied the laws of nature, the hunter engaged the Jersey Devil, their clash echoing through the desolate clearing. Sparks flew as the silver blade met the creature's hide, each strike fueling a glimmer of hope within Sarah and Mark's trembling hearts. With a final thunderous blow, the hunter incapacitated the Jersey Devil, forcing it to retreat into the depths of the haunted woods. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by Sarah and Mark's ragged breaths. The hunter turned to face them, his eyes filled with both weariness and determination. He revealed himself as a guardian of Pinnerville, dedicated to protecting the town from the horrors that plagued it. He warned Sarah and Mark of the darkness that loomed over their heads, urging them to abandon their pursuit for the sake of their own safety. But the couple, fueled by a newfound resolve, refused to yield. They could not abandon Pinnerville to its fate, nor could they live in fear for the rest of their lives. Sarah and Mark would uncover the truth, confront the horrors that plagued the town, and ensure that the Jersey Devil would be vanquished once and for all. As the hunter bid them farewell, vanishing into the shadows, Sarah and Mark continued their perilous journey, their minds haunted by the chilling encounter and the knowledge that their greatest fears lay just beyond the veil of darkness. The once peaceful town of Pinnerville descended into a state of terror and paranoia. Rumors of the Jersey Devil's return spread like wildfire, fueling a collective panic that gripped every resident. The streets, once bustling with life, now stood eerily deserted, as if the mere mention of the creature could summon its wrath. Sarah and Mark, determined to uncover the truth, found themselves immersed in a town plagued by fear. They roamed the desolate streets, their senses heightened, searching for any clues that could shed light on the dark secrets that consumed Pinnerville. As they delved deeper into the heart of the town, they encountered wide-eyed townsfolk, their faces etched with dread. Whispers of strange occurrences and unexplained disappearances echoed through the air, painting a macabre portrait of the Jersey Devil's reign of terror. One night, while venturing near the outskirts of town, Sarah and Mark stumbled upon a dilapidated house that stood as a haunting testament to the town's dark history. The windows were shattered, the doors creaked with each gust of wind, and an oppressive aura hung in the air. It was a place that held the answers they sought, a place where the truth had been buried for far too long. With trepidation in their hearts, they stepped inside, their footsteps echoing through the empty hallways. The air was heavy with the stench of decay and an otherworldly presence that sent a chill down their spines. Every creak of the floorboard seemed to be a warning, urging them to turn back. As they ventured deeper into the bowels of the house, a series of chilling whispers filled their ears. The walls seemed to reverberate with the agonized voices of the past, carrying with them tales of unspeakable horrors that had unfolded within those very walls. In a dimly lit room, they discovered a collection of aged journals, their pages yellowed with age. As they turned each page, they were confronted with first-hand accounts of encounters with the Jersey Devil, stories of mutilation, madness, and the unending nightmare that haunted the lives of those unfortunate enough to cross its path. But amidst the horrifying tales, one entry stood out, a desperate plea for help scrawled by a former resident of Pinnerville. The writer spoke of a hidden chamber beneath the town, a labyrinth of darkness where the Jersey Devil lurked, feeding on the town's collective fear. Driven by a mix of dread and determination, Sarah and Mark set out to unravel the mystery that lay beneath their feet. Guided by the cryptic clues within the journal, they navigated the underground tunnels that snaked beneath the town, their steps echoing through the cold, damp darkness. With each twist and turn, the air grew colder, and the walls seemed to close in on them. Whispers of forgotten souls brushed against their ears, their voices a chorus of anguish that echoed through the depths of their minds. The faint glow of their flashlight barely pierced the suffocating darkness, casting eerie shadows that danced along the tunnel walls. Suddenly, they stumbled upon a vast chamber bathed in an otherworldly glow. The air grew heavy with a palpable malevolence, as if the very essence of evil thrived within the depths of this unhallowed place. And there, in the center of the chamber, stood the Jersey Devil, its eyes aflame with malice, its wings outstretched like a grotesque deity of darkness. Paralyzed with terror, Sarah and Mark watched as the creature descended upon them, its presence enveloping their senses. Its deafening screech reverberated through their bones, threatening to shatter their sanity. But they refused to succumb to its monstrous power. Summoning their last reserves of courage, they fought back, wielding their determination as a weapon against the darkness. The battle that ensued defied comprehension, a clash between mortal souls and a creature born of nightmares. Claws met flesh, cries of pain mingled with triumphant shouts, and blood stained the sacred ground. With a final desperate blow, Sarah and Mark drove the Jersey Devil back, banishing it from the chamber and sealing the entrance behind them. The darkness receded, replaced by an eerie calm that settled upon the underground labyrinth. Gasping for breath, Sarah and Mark realized that their ordeal had only just begun. They had faced the embodiment of terror itself, but the secrets of Pinnerville still lingered, waiting to be unveiled. As they ascended from the depths, their bodies battered and souls scarred, they knew that the true battle was yet to come. The Jersey Devil's presence may have been vanquished from the chamber, but its hold on the town remained. And only by uncovering the darkest truths hidden within Pinnerville would they have a chance to save themselves and their community from an eternity of fear and despair. Exhausted and haunted by their encounters, Sarah and Mark sought solace in the safety of their makeshift headquarters, a dimly lit room adorned with maps, newspaper clippings, and mementos of their treacherous journey. Determined to rid Pinnerville of the Jersey Devil's curse, they meticulously studied every detail, searching for a clue that would lead them to the creature's ultimate demise. As night blanketed the town, a sense of foreboding settled over Sarah and Mark. The moonless sky offered no comfort, casting an impenetrable darkness that seemed to harbor the unknown. It was in this sinister setting that a chilling revelation awaited them. A faint scratching sound emanated from the window, drawing their attention. With cautious trepidation, they approached the source of the noise, their senses on high alert. As they peered into the night, their blood froze. The glowing red eyes of the Jersey Devil stared back at them, its presence a visceral reminder of their mission's urgency. The creature's unnerving gaze penetrated their souls, its silent threat echoing through the depths of their minds. It knew their every move, their every plan. The realization that they were being hunted sent waves of terror coursing through their veins. But Sarah and Mark refused to be paralyzed by fear. In an act of defiance, they mustered the strength to confront the creature head-on. They armed themselves with weapons forged from the knowledge they had acquired, knowing that this nocturnal encounter would be their chance to turn the tide of the battle. Under the cloak of darkness, they ventured into the heart of the forest, the creature's domain. Branches reached out like skeletal fingers, and the wind whispered secrets that only the shadows understood. The eerie stillness set their nerves on edge, amplifying their every heartbeat. Suddenly, a bone-chilling howl pierced the silence, sending a tremor of fear through their bodies. The Jersey Devil had revealed its presence, taunting them with its presence just beyond their line of sight. Sarah and Mark pressed forward, their steps calculated and their resolve unyielding. As they ventured deeper into the blackened woods, the undergrowth grew thicker, and an oppressive energy pulsed in the air. The trees seemed to whisper ancient incantations, warning of the impending doom that awaited the brave souls who dared to challenge the creature that haunted their nightmares. The darkness seemed to come alive, swirling around them like an ethereal fog. A symphony of rustling leaves and distant cries resonated, painting a vivid tapestry of terror. Yet Sarah and Mark pressed on, their determination a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching despair. Finally, they found themselves standing in a clearing, a desolate stage set for their final confrontation. The Jersey Devil materialized before them, its monstrous form a grotesque testament to the town's torment, its wings unfurled, casting a nightmarish shadow upon the ground. In a battle of wills and survival, Sarah and Mark unleashed their arsenal of knowledge and bravery. Every strike, every dodge, and every desperate maneuver pushed them closer to victory or the abyss of oblivion. The clash was fierce and unrelenting, a dance of life and death in the heart of darkness. Fangs gnashed, claws slashed, and blood spilled, each drop marking the determination of two souls fighting for their home, their loved ones, and their very existence. With every passing moment, Sarah and Mark discovered a hidden strength within themselves, an unwavering resolve fueled by the belief that the light could triumph over the encroaching darkness. The creature's screeches filled the night, its fury unable to match their unyielding spirit. In a final climactic blow, they struck true, severing the Jersey Devil's hold on Pinnerville. The creature let out a deafening cry of defeat, retreating into the shadows from which it emerged. The clearing fell silent once more, the night air pregnant with a newfound peace. As Sarah and Mark caught their breath, they realized that their battle was not just their own. It was a testament to the strength and resilience of humanity in the face of unimaginable horrors. They had overcome their deepest fears, vanquished the darkness that plagued their town, and restored a glimmer of hope to Pinnerville. But as they stood amidst the ruins of their harrowing encounter, they understood that their journey was far from over. The echoes of the Jersey Devil's reign lingered, and the scars of the town's suffering ran deep. They would remain steadfast in their mission to rebuild and protect their community from the terrors that sought to tear it apart. And so, Sarah and Mark embarked on the path of healing, their spirits fortified by the knowledge that they had stared into the abyss and emerged victorious. They would ensure that the tale of the Jersey Devil would become a legend, a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of unity in the face of darkness. With the Jersey Devil vanquished and a sense of renewed hope pulsating through the veins of Pinnerville, Sarah and Mark turned their attention to uncovering the root of the town's haunting legacy. They delved deep into the annals of history, seeking answers hidden within forgotten archives and the fading memories of the town's oldest inhabitants. Their investigations led them to a secluded mansion on the outskirts of Pinnerville, a place steeped in secrets and whispered tales of darkness. It was here, amidst the decaying grandeur, that they hoped to unearth the unholy truth that had plagued their town for generations. As they stepped across the threshold of the mansion, an icy chill permeated the air. The walls seemed to whisper, their voices carrying the weight of the past, warning of the horrors that awaited them. With every step, the mansion's dark secrets seemed to come alive, dancing on the edges of their consciousness. In a forgotten study, they discovered a collection of aged tomes, their pages brittle with age and filled with forbidden knowledge. The book spoke of ancient rituals, demonic pacts, and the dark pact made by the founders of Pinnerville, an agreement that had doomed the town to be a playground for the malevolent forces that roamed the night. The truth unfolded before them, painting a portrait of desperation and misguided ambition. The founders had made a Faustian bargain, sacrificing the town's prosperity for their own greed. In exchange for wealth and power, they had invited the presence of the Jersey Devil into their lives, forever condemning Pinnerville to a cycle of suffering and despair. With each page turned, Sarah and Mark's understanding of their town's tragic history deepened. The rituals performed within the mansion's walls had kept the Jersey Devil's presence alive, feeding its insatiable hunger for fear and misery. They realized that the battle they fought was not just against a creature, but against the darkness that resided within their own community. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Sarah and Mark made a solemn vow to break the curse that bound their town and free Pinnerville from the shackles of the past. They embarked on a quest to undo the rituals, to cleanse the town's tainted history, and to ensure that the sins of the founders would no longer cast a shadow over their lives. With the aid of the remaining townsfolk, they orchestrated a ceremony, a testament to their collective resolve to sever the ties that bound them to the unholy pact. Together, they chanted ancient incantations, their voices carrying the weight of generations seeking redemption. The mansion trembled as the ritual reached its crescendo, an otherworldly force pushing against their efforts. The air crackled with energy, and the walls seemed to pulsate with a malevolence desperate to maintain its grip on Pinnerville. But their determination remained unyielding. With each word, with each beat of their hearts, the darkness weakened, its hold slipping away. And in a blinding flash of light, the curse that had plagued their town for centuries was shattered, dissipating like smoke in the wind. As the final echoes of the ritual faded, a profound silence settled over Pinnerville. The town stood transformed, its inhabitants freed from the shadow of the Jersey Devil's curse. Sarah and Mark, their mission accomplished, basked in the collective sigh of relief that echoed through the streets. The scars of their battle would forever be etched upon the fabric of Pinnerville's history, a reminder of the resilience and strength of its people. The town would heal, slowly but surely, and the nightmare that had gripped them for so long would become a distant memory. With a newfound sense of peace, Sarah and Mark looked upon Pinnerville, a town reborn from the ashes of its darkest hour. They understood that their journey had not only saved their community, but had also rekindled a spirit of unity and resilience that would guide them through the trials that lay ahead. And as they stood hand in hand, they vowed to protect the sanctity of their town, forever vigilant against the encroachment of darkness. For in the depths of their hearts, they knew that the true power to overcome any horror lay in the unwavering belief in the indomitable human spirit.